I'm going to make a bold statement in saying this. Okay, so just hear me out. All right, there is no wrong style of creating content online. It's only wrong when the style of content you create doesn't produce the outcomes you want in the time frame you anticipated. And we're going to talk about it in today's podcast episode because I thought that line was great when I wrote it. I thought it really, really good. It was really transcendent. It's a great soundbite. So you're welcome. Welcome to the Creators Initiative podcast, where we have a raw and authentic conversation about creating intentional media, our way to grow our personal brand and business. I'm your host, DP, editor and unintentional part-time content creator that sometimes go by Leia, sometimes go by Leah. It really just depends on my mood, but either way, welcome to the podcast. And for those who are listening and don't know who Alex Hermozi is, Alex is an entrepreneur, investor, author of 3 best-selling books, $100 million offers, leads, and money models. He's founded and exited 3 companies, the largest for $46.2 million in 221. Lord have mercy. 2021. He and his wife, Layla, are the managing partners of acquisition.com, a portfolio of companies that generate in aggregate $200 million per year. And he also makes mistakes and candidly shares his painful lessons with other entrepreneurs. Today, he publicly documents his lessons on his pathway from 100 million network to 1 billion. Yeah, so a man with $100 million net worth tells you that he's going to create content with more substance and less polish for the foreseeable future. You listen. And to be fully transparent as an editor, the statement could change public perception about the importance of investing in an editor for your content, and which is part of my livelihood. Not all of it, but part of it. So as I have grown over the years as an editor and a business owner, I have seen so many styles of editing or no editing whatsoever. And these creators were successful. I'm seeing these creators be successful without editing whatsoever because they're consistent. They are consistent over a long, sometimes really, really long period of time. And you always have your outliers. So let's just put that out there. You're always going to have your outliers that were successful in a short amount of time. But for the majority, patience persevered. So I'm going to talk about 3 things in today's episode. 1, the different type of content specifically on YouTube. 2, what is the ultimate end goals or goals with your content. And 3, observations I have made from watching Alex Hermozi's content and what we can learn and apply to our content strategy since he has a 100 million network and we don't. For now. That's the most important part. Speaking into existence, whatever it is that you do. I'm going to pray about it, but, do you boo-boo, okay? So let's talk about the differing. I'm gonna get my words together in this podcast episode. Different editing styles, okay? And BT dubs for all the people who have commented on my YouTube channel, on my YouTube videos about the audio sounding extremely low. I see what you're talking about. When I was listening back to my podcast in the gym, I did not realize on my AirPod Pros that I practically had it up to the highest peak. So hopefully this works. This what I did changed in researching and learning from my mistakes, owning up to it, and doing better. So I hope you hear me. If it doesn't work, I don't know what I'll do. Just keep working at it. Just keep showing up. I mean, this is what we talk about in this podcast. So there's that. Just wanted to put that out there for all you lovely individuals who said something about it and weren't mean. You were just nice. You were blunt, but you were very nice. You were very kind, and I truly appreciate it. So that's it. That's my little rant, and I'm going to go back focus, ADHD, on differing, but that word is going to kick my butt in this podcast episode. Different editing style. Got it. Okay. So there are flashy edits. There's your one long cut, typically 2 hours of straight dialogue. And then there's your intentional editing, edits that add to the conversation and doesn't subtract or distract from your message. So let's just dive a little bit into each one of these little subplots, all right? Flash editing or flashy edits, right? There is never a time, never a place for flashy editing, but people do it. People still do it because what do I know, right? That's really my professional opinion. But people are going to do what they're going to do. I say don't do it. Ew, gross. Ew, brother, what? No, just don't do it. People still do it. But I really want to emphasize it's not a time and a place for flashy editing. Okay, but flashy edits. Let me just, instead of just telling you no, don't do it and just run off into the next point, let me explain why flashy edits are just, all right, but I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want to gross anybody out. But anyway, it's just nasty. Okay, flashy edits feel amateur. Okay, they feel lazy because there's not a lot of effort that needs to be put into a flashy edit. And I mean, this is literally why AI was able to just rip this and do it themselves, because it's not hard. It don't take that much effort. If you know a little something about like these editing platforms, you can do flashy edits, okay? So that's one thing I didn't like about Alex Hermozi's content for a while. There was just these beautiful images, frames, and whatnot that he had on podcast episodes with these freaking nasty pop-up. I hate it. I'm done. I'm not even gonna go because I'm gonna go down a rant, and there's gonna be a lot of pauses unnecessarily that I have to edit later. But just know that there's not a lot of effort and a lot of thought that goes into these. They look super amateur, very lazy work. And that's why AI was able to charge you guys $45 a month for it, because it didn't take a lot for them to just rip that from the internet and put it out there. Okay, but here's the thing: with certain creators wanting to push quantity over quality. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back: quantity over quality. Selling dreams rather than actual solutions. Flashy edits work for them. Was that shade? Yes. Did I just plant a tree? Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, they don't care what it looks like. They just want somebody to pay for their $49.95 course. So yeah, let's do the flashy edits. Let's do the flashy cuts. No B-roll, no nothing, no purpose. Don't just throw B-roll on a video. Just throw B-roll on a video. It has to have purpose. It has to add to what you're talking about. And you don't get that at all, because at the end of the day, just pay for my course. It's $49.95. What are you out of? You spend that with your friend and yourself at Kiki's Cafe. All right, that's my rant. That's my soapbox. Let's talk about long cuts, okay? So there's an emergence, and this is no shade to this group, but there's an emergence of older creators, 56 and above, maybe 46. I'm so close to that, so I don't want to even say that, but older creators using these captivating captions like 40 years of X experience condensed in 2 hours, and they talk for 2 hours straight about their life experience. Now, like I said, there is absolutely no shade when I say this, because I think that's great. We need that. We need to learn from that. But here's the thing. I don't have 40 years of life experience that I can talk 2 hours straight on YouTube in my car about, okay? I have 30 years of experience. Really, this last 10, the best advice I can give you is, like, don't go to college. No, I'm kidding. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But if it's for the degree I got, I do use it. I do use my degree. But, like, at the same time, I could have saved $80,000. But, hey, I got that piece of paper, right? That's still under my bed collecting dust in a tube. So yeah, but I mean, that's the 10 years of experience I can give you condensed into 15 minutes. I mean, I don't know, but like literally though, it works for them. And they have a lot of, obviously, great insight. It's 40 years condensed into 2 hours. So that works for them. But if you're 24, what can you tell us? Respectfully, what can you tell us? Or you can lie. I mean, people do that all the time on the internet. You can lie. You can go, rent appear space that's an apartment and claim that that's your apartment and, go and rent a Lambo for the day. I mean, you can do a lot of things until, like, Facebook fact checks it or something. But other than that, what can you tell us? You got to wait for that experience. So hopefully in the future, you'll come back to YouTube and tell us with these long form contents, long cuts of just 4 hours straight of wisdom, 60 years. Make your money. Live better. Walmart. Okay, and then my favorite, obviously, this is what I get paid the big bucks for, is intentional editing. So for my personal algorithm, go figure, right? And the YouTubers I subscribe to, their content is intentional. Their content has substance, and their editing doesn't subtract or subtract from the message, but it adds to it. Let me say that again, because I feel like I got a little tongue-tied, just a little bit there. Their content has substance. I promise you I'm going to get my words together. Their content has substance. Their editing doesn't subtract or distract from their message, but it adds to it. Now, I feel like this feels very like, it's your content. Of course, you feel great about it. I do. You're right. I curated this algorithm, but, it's okay if you want to watch the stuff that you watch. I mean, I'm kind of getting away from the curated stuff. I love movie review channels and things like that. So don't come for me thinking that this is all I watch is curated, like, substance, like, deep. No, I look at a lot of things, but these are the people that I want to talk about, okay? So they have, first of all, I want you to see a correlation here with these specific creators that I follow. They have over 1 million subscribers. Now, hold on. I just had a thought. I say this, and then there's, like, this girl that I follow that literally vlogs her life and does her makeup and has 1 million followers. So there is a correlation, but, I mean, I want to say as business owners and personal brands, there is a correlation with these guys having substance and talking about things with millions of subscribers and actually making money from it. You can do a Get Ready With Me YouTube channel and have millions of followers and live in a penthouse. We talked about that in a previous podcast episode, but I'm just saying, with my algorithm and the people I talk to, this is what they stuff look like, okay? There's a correlation. Stay with me, because I'm not really staying with myself, because ADHD. Okay, so they have over 1 million subscribers. They all have profitable businesses outside of YouTube. Hashtag goals, okay? And their content is a reflection of their personal brand. Hashtag goals, okay? And I know what I said feels super biased. I said that earlier, and I'm saying it again, but I promise I'm going somewhere with it. So just stick around, okay? So what is your ultimate end goal? So if you want to create these cinematic vlogs of your life around hybrid training, there is an audience for that, and the algorithm will send that audience your way if you are consistent. If you want to post videos of you mowing a lawn for 6 hours straight, maybe hyperspeed, okay, but 6 hours straight with no editing or cuts, there's an audience for that, and the algorithm will send that audience your way if you are consistent. If you want to do deep dives for the culture, these are different people I follow, okay? So I'm not just watching hybrid training vlogs that are cinematic, okay? But if you want to do deep dives for the culture about any mainstream topic, movie reviews about any current popular movie, or once again, another word that's going to kick my butt, ASMR, of you eating food for 30 minutes straight. I'm saying this because I go over a friend's house, and this is the stuff that they watch, and it blows my absolute mind. There is an audience, and they're that audience, and the algorithm will send that audience your way if you are consistent. So there's an audience if you stay consistent and your goal is to be a full-time YouTuber. But my end goal with YouTube is to grow my business and to document my journey as an entrepreneur in a story-driven way, because, that just gives me peace and purpose and just creative freedom and all the things that give me joy, because at the end of the day, it's about me. It's about my mental health. So this is why I create the things I do and invest the money that I do, but I have to justify investing a lot of money that I do by making that money back. But that's initially what I want to do, and I want to help other entrepreneurs create the same content like mine. Because there was a point that I was having this tug and pull where I was like, well, maybe I should just teach everybody what my content used to look like and just let them just do professional videography stuff and leave the cinematographer stuff alone. But, man, I am seeing so many creatives that are not starting video production companies, creating cinematic videos and learning about lighting and all the things to create this great content that's in-house, that's just kind of like, hey, maybe I should teach you that, you know? And my whole thing is this, respectfully, you're going to get overwhelmed with all the things I'm going to teach you and be like, dang, that's a lot of work. She does actually a lot more than push a button. Because I know a lot of people think that's just what I do, but it's okay. I didn't let it go, but I just moved past it, right? But I'm just seeing that if it comes down to it and you just don't have the money, but you want to take the time and the effort to learn how to do this stuff, then hey, I taught you how to do it. And if you do have the resources to just outsource it, and now you know what to look for, what to ask for, and to get what you want, now you know how to do that too. So it's a win-win, and that's what I want to do with my YouTube channel. I don't want to be a full-time YouTuber. I just kind of want to make some extra money if the money comes this way, but at the end of the day, it's a way for me to get practice. It's a way for me to be creative and also help other entrepreneurs like me, just without 10 years of struggle that I'm still struggling. But it's okay because I won't be struggling for long. Anyway, I lost my place. But yeah, so my end goal, like I said, is not to become a YouTuber. If anything, this is supplemental income and not my main source of income. So I'm okay with not creating videos for a niche that I know would guarantee me 100,000 subscribers in the next 6 months if I post consistently, because that's not my end goal. The Uneducated Economist. This is a guy that I thought about with the long cuts, right? The Uneducated Economist on YouTube has 138,000 subscribers with no editing and just live streaming his content in his modest car. And that's like no shade. I just want to make a point that he literally is live streaming his videos in a car. He's not live streaming his videos in a Tesla. He's not live streaming his videos in a Bentley, in a Rolls Royce, in a Audi R8. He's literally in a Honda, I think, or something like that. Just giving you great advice about the economy. Where was I going with that? Will I cut that out? Who knows? I told you I like things to be authentic. But anyway, let's just focus on the content that he provides, the education about navigating the economy and when and where you should invest your money. So there's no need for fancy editing. I mean, he could do it. He could have fancy editing. He could have the graphs when teaching the valuable information and helping, navigate this trash economy. But I need to stop going off script. Let me start that over. There is no need for fancy editing. He could do fancy editing. He could have the fancy graphs, but there's really no need when you're teaching valuable information and helping me navigate this trash economy and get out of my parents' house at 30. Yeah, I live at home. I think I've been telling you guys that, but if you're not paying attention, you're not listening. I'm telling you, I live at freaking home. Okay, those years haven't been wasted, but when you're this independent, oh my goodness, so there's that. And everybody I want to be roommates. They all got married or had kids, so there's that. But anyway, that's besides the point. Squirrel, okay, getting off the subject, but what I want to say and what I want to drive this point home is that there's no wrong style of creating content online. It's only wrong when the style of content you create doesn't produce the outcomes you want in the time frame you anticipated. I was hitting that home until I hit the mic. Dadgum. But like I said, there's no wrong style. There's no wrong style of creating online. If it's sounded like The Sims there, but yeah, there's no wrong way of creating content unless it doesn't create the outcome that you anticipated. Period. I see way too many different styles of content. Respectfully, trash thumbnails. Shoot, my thumbnails are not the best. They could definitely be better, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm thinking positively, but I'm seeing even people with worse thumbnails than me having 12,000 views, 300,000 views on YouTube, got a Patreon. Like, there really is no wrong way. The wrong way is you not showing up, or if you had a goal to have 100,000 subscribers in 6 months and you not hit it, then okay, that's something that you're doing wrong and that you need to go back to the drawing board and figure out the niche that you're trying to reach. Is it profitable? All these things that get too much in the weed instead of just showing up and getting better with every upload. I mean, it's been enjoyable now filming this YouTube content as far as the podcast goes and trying to actually film the YouTube videos that I want to do or produce when I just show up without any expectation of growing or making money like super quick. It's just, hey, I just want to get better with every upload. I just want to enjoy myself, get better with outlines and produce pre-production, all the things. But that's my rant. That's me going down the rabbit hole. Let's talk about lessons from Alex Hermozi, okay? So for Alex Hermozi, YouTube and social media is a supplemental income. He gets paid while having the opportunity to grow his reach and influence, and Alex is constantly split testing and looking at the data, which as entrepreneurs, this is what we should be doing. We should always be looking at the data. The data is very, very important if you want to make money moves. So in 6 months, he might change his editing and content style because the data showed that walking around a parking lot with his shirt off wasn't that engaging or didn't keep the attention of the audience like he hoped. I don't feel any type of way about him walking around without his shirt on, teaching valuable lessons. It's just, I don't know, something about my brain, as soon as I see him walking around, I just tune out and keep scrolling. So I can't wait to see what he says about that here in a couple months if that worked out for him. But like, it's nice to see in real time him trying different things like that wild, like him without a shirt on. I just love guys. I just love entrepreneurs who have like bukus of money just out here testing anything with the algorithm while we're freaking out about if logging behind the scenes of our business in our apartment is actually advantageous to our business and our personal brand. Alex Hermozi's out in the parking lot without a shirt teaching you money advice. So if he can do it, I think you should do it too. I'm not going to walk around the parking lot without a shirt on. That's just me, but do you? That's all I say. No, do you? So, like I said, that's a lesson I can take from Alex Hermozi and just looking at the data, understanding the data, and pivoting. I don't have a multi-million business or a $200 million business, but I really feel like just with common sense, it's like looking at the data and making decisions based off the data. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into business, but I feel like a big, really main part of it is looking at the data and being like, might need to do something different here. Let's try this. Let's test this. Rather than being like Blockbuster and just being like, Netflix is never going to dethrone us. People are always going to come to the Blockbuster and rent physical copies of movies. Nobody's ever going to do digital stuff and do stuff at home. Now look at them, a shell of themselves. You just see buildings with the faded Blockbuster on it, and then those have been demolished. Kids these days will not even remember that Blockbuster was around. Crazy stuff. So, here are my final thoughts. If your end goal is to grow your business through YouTube, then creating polished content about micro niche topics that you can only post bi-weekly is going to be a no, according to a YouTube expert who is telling you that is not the way to grow your channel to 100,000 subscribers in the next 6 months. And I'm going to say it again because I think it needs to be said again. Okay, so if your end goal is to grow your business, your end goal is to grow your business through YouTube, then creating polished content about micro niche topics that you can only post bi-weekly is going to be a no to any YouTuber coach that you hire, because they're going to tell you the only way to grow your channel 100,000 subscribers in the next 6 months is to go into a niche that will get you those numbers quick. But if your goal is that, right? If your goal is different, oh man, where was I going with that? I need to stick to the script. There's going to be a lot of editing in post because I won't stick to the script. Bro, let me just go here for just 1 second. This is what happens when I go like a month without recording. The momentum is gone. How I worked and how I would read this outline and stay on topic and all this goes out the window. This is why I'm trying to get better. I just try to come in here every other week with something, record something to get better. Because this right here, I'm probably going to keep it in there, but this right here is just like, ooh, good grief. I see you're rusty. It's been a while since you've been in the studio, and you would be right. So let me try this one more time, because the point is so good that you got to hear it again, right? Okay? So here's my final thoughts. If your end goal is to grow your business through YouTube, then creating polished content about micro niche topics that you can only post bi-weekly is going to be a no-no, according to a YouTube expert who is telling you that that's not the way to grow your channel to 100,000 subscribers in the next 6 months. But if your end goal is different, so this style and scheduling will be okay, and it'll work for you, because that's not your end goal. But if your end goal is to grow your channel from 32 subscribers to 100,000 in the next 6 months, then your topics and your production value is going to look different than an entrepreneur style of content, because both of you have different goals and neither of you are wrong. So show up your way on your terms, and remember, consistency while getting better. That's the important part, not just being consistent and consistently sucking. That's not going to help anybody. But if you're consistent and you're getting better with the consistency, it's just going to compound. It's just going to compound. I don't feel like I am a product of consistency and getting better every day since 2015, if we're being exact. Okay, so thank you for listening to this episode of the Creators Initiative podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please share with a friend, and don't forget to rate this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And until the next episode, I hope you gain confidence and inspiration to show up your way and on your terms. I'll catch you in the next podcast episode. Good night and good evening, or good evening and good night.